This is Little St. James, often called Epstein Island. For years, this small private island became one of the most recognized locations connected to Jeffrey Epstein. From the shoreline, you can see the buildings that made it instantly recognizable: the blue and white temple, the main villa on the hill, the guest villa, and the narrow paths winding through the tropical landscape. We will clear the overgrowth, repair storm damage, restore the walls, roofs, windows, and interiors, then reveal what the island could look like after a full architectural restoration. But while the structures can be restored, the history connected to this island cannot be erased. Before the restoration begins, it is important to separate the island's buildings from the documented history connected to them. Little St. James was owned by Jeffrey Epstein for years and became widely known through reporting, civil cases, and public court records. The island's unusual buildings became symbols in online discussions, especially the blue and white temple. But photographs of a building do not prove what happened inside it. The documented record is found in court filings, survivor accounts, investigations, and criminal cases, not in internet theories. Next, we begin with the exterior of the temple. Our restoration begins with the island's most recognizable structure, the blue and white temple. The first step is clearing the grounds. Workers cut back vines, remove fallen palm fronds, and reopen the stone path leading to the entrance. Next, the exterior walls are washed to remove salt stains, mold, and layers of grime. Every damaged section is repaired gradually. Cracked plaster, loose trim, worn paint, and broken details. The goal is restore the same structure, one careful step at a time. By the end, the temple exterior is clean, stable, and ready for the next stage, the interior. The temple became the island's biggest legend. Its strange blue and white exterior made people ask the same question: why was this building here? Online theories gave it many names and many stories. But the truth is, a building alone cannot prove what happened inside. What is known is that this structure became the most recognizable symbol of the island. Now, as the dust is cleared and the walls are restored, the mystery remains. Because some places are remembered not only for what they were, but for the questions they leave behind. Beyond the temple stands the main villa. In this fictional legend, it was said that one room inside the villa stayed locked long after the island was abandoned. Storms damaged the roof. Salt air faded the walls. Vines covered the path to the entrance. But the locked room was never part of the restoration plan. Workers repaired the exterior, cleaned the windows, and reopened the terrace. Still, one shutter upstairs remained closed. No one knew what was behind it, and when the sun went down, the villa looked empty again. There was one upstairs window in the main villa that faced directly toward the sea. In the island's legend, it was always closed. No matter how strong the wind became, no one ever saw its shutters move. People said the room behind it was kept off limits. Visitors could walk through the villa, but never past that door. At night, the glass reflected only the black ocean. Then, sometimes, a shape appeared behind it. Not clear enough to identify, not close enough to explain. By sunrise, the shadow was gone, and the window was closed again. The guest villa stood far from the main house, hidden behind palms and a narrow stone path. In the island's legend, nobody stayed there for long. People said the front door opened by itself every morning, even when the house was empty. At night, a weak light sometimes appeared behind the curtains. Then it disappeared before anyone could reach the porch. Some believed it was only the wind moving through broken windows. Others believed the guest villa was never truly empty. By sunrise, the door was closed again, and the path outside was perfectly clean. Behind the guest villa, a narrow stone path disappeared into the palms. In the island's legend, nobody used it after dark. The path led away from the houses, past broken lamps and overgrown walls, until it vanished beneath the trees. People said footsteps could be heard there at night. Slow, careful, always moving toward the shoreline. But when someone looked outside, there was never anyone on the path, only the palms moving in the wind, and fresh footprints that stopped halfway to the sea. At the end of the path, there was a small door built into a stone wall. No sign, no handle, no window. In the island's legend, it was never meant to be opened. People said the door appeared only after heavy rain, when the vines pulled back and the ground turned dark. Some claimed they heard a faint sound behind it. Others said it was only water moving through old pipes. But every story ended the same way. By morning, the vines covered the door again, and no one could find it. Long after the island went quiet, sailors claimed they could still hear a weak signal coming from the shore. It was never a full message, just static, a low tone, and a voice too distorted to understand. The signal appeared after midnight, then stopped before sunrise. By day, the island looked quiet. The temple stood still. The villas faced the sea. The palms moved slowly in the wind, but the legend said silence was the island's warning. No birds landed near the old stone path. No lights appeared in the windows, and no boats stayed near the shore after sunset, because when the ocean became completely still, people said the island was listening. Then, somewhere beyond the trees, a door would close, and the silence would return. The island is quiet now. The temple stands empty. The main villa faces the sea. The guest house disappears behind the palms, but the legend says the island was never truly abandoned. After dark, the stone path still leads somewhere. The upstairs window still reflects a shadow, and sometimes far beyond the shoreline, a weak radio signal returns through the static. No one knows who sends it. No one knows what is behind the unmarked door, and no one knows what waits beneath the trees. The island may be silent, but its legend is still alive.